everyone, today I'm here to do another tag video. Today's tag is actually going to be the Gilmore Girls book tag, and I am so very excited to film this. I heard about this tag because somebody actually tagged me for once. I'm pretty excited because usually I don't get tagged, so when I get tagged I feel like I'm $1,000,000 because, I don't know, it's just that feeling of getting tagged. By Pucks and Paper Books, which I will link the video down below. I was tagged by Followthebooks, and I am excited because this is literally all about Gilmore Girls. We're taking characters and associating them with books, and I am excited because if you don't know already, I love the Gilmore Girls. Like, it's not a love, it's like a deep obsession at this point. It's like a love affair. Me and Gilmore Girls, love forever. The first character, and my favorite personally, is Lorelai Gilmore.
Boy, with the poodles already.
Character with a witty or sarcastic sense of humor. This has so many, but as this book I recently read, and I felt like this fits the bill. Emma Carstairs from Lady Midnight. This girl is strong and fierce, but she is also sarcastic and witty, and I love her. Like, she has got the best sense of humor ever. And, you know, it's not Lorelai Gilmore's sense of humor. It's like that sarcastic wittiness. That's just amazing. Next up, we have Rory Gilmore.
Now smell it. Nothing smells like that.
Your favorite classic. Now, I don't read too many classics. It's a bad thing. Yes, I know, I'm working on that. My favorite classic, I will say, is The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. I will say I am reading Jane Eyre right now, here and like off and on, and I'm really enjoying that. So I don't know if I can put that in there, but I'm really enjoying that as well. So maybe that'll take the spot for it, but I do love The Great Gatsby. Next up is Luke Danes.
You stop that right now! Get all the pretty candy.
A book you secretly love but afraid to admit it. And I don't know about this with Luke Danes. I feel like this would be like, I feel like the question should almost be like tough but lovable character, because that's literally Luke. Like, he's very tough and he's got this hard outer shell, but he, in the end, inside, he is just a lovable guy that just does right. It does what you just love him. But anyway, for this one, a book that I secretly love but are afraid to admit it, I don't have too many. Like, there are no books I'm like, oh, I wish I can't tell people I love this book. Now, I am somewhat changing this since I don't have a book that I love but I don't want to admit it. I am changing it of a book that I love but I hate the cover. Does that make sense? Like, I would not be okay reading this in public because the cover is so horrendous. You probably already know which one I'm going to go to because I talk about it all the time, and you're probably like, shut up about it, but I won't. And that is Crashing Me by Katie McGarry. Like I said, I've talked about this. I do not want to be seen in public reading this. It's just a horrible cover. And then, you know, I don't even, this is really bad. This is bad, but the actual Dutch, like the hardcover, is even worse. Like, imagine that. Let's just read people making out in the back seat. No. Then we have Lane Kim.
I'm drumming in a band tonight at a party, and we rocked.
A musical character. I'm choosing Jem Carstairs from The Infernal Devices. Yes, this is Clockwork Angel. I know Jem is on Clockwork Prince cover. I lent that out, and I'm never going to get it back, so I'm going to have to buy a new one. But Jem is very musical. He plays the violin so beautifully, and his whole family's like musical. I hope Emma Carstairs picks that one up on that and learns a musical instrument, preferably the violin. But when I think musical characters, my first thought goes to Jem because Jem is just amazing. Next up, we have Dean Forrester.
If you're eating pizza with them and Lorelai decides that the pepperoni is angry at the mushrooms because the mushrooms have an attitude, and then she holds up a pepperoni and the pepperoni asks for your opinion.
Your first book love, because Dean was Rory's first boyfriend and everything. Technically here, my first real book love was Ron Weasley. I loved Ron Weasley. I thought he was the most adorable psychic ever, and he was like my first book crush, if you will. Well, was he? Like, he wasn't my really, really first book crush, I will say. I definitely crushed very hard on Edward from Twilight, so I don't know if that's like my first book crush, book love, but I mean, I loved Ron Weasley, and I definitely crushed hard on Edward Cullen. Sookie St. James.
Oh, well, the chop flew, so I lunged, and then the floor slipped, and then, whoo, and I just with a flip, you know.
Book you devoured, which fits perfectly because Sookie is a chef. I'm going with another one that's the same again, hope that's okay. Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. You're gonna hear me talking about a lot. If I do a lot of tags in the coming future, this will probably be in a lot of them because I devoured this book. I love this book. I can't get enough of this book. I'm reading Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy right now, and I'm loving it, and I'm going to be really sad when it's over because I'm going to be like, what am I going to read next? There's no more new stuff. When's the next Cassandra Clare stuff coming out? This book I devoured and devoured. I really even want to reread it again, like right now. It doesn't happen to me like that. Jess Mariano.
Well, it's lucky I've got me a tutor, isn't it?
A book you love that gets the most hate. And that's a perfect question for Jess. I like Jess, when I rewatch Gilmore Girls, as I do very, very often, I think I just finished my 8th rewatch of all time. I'll probably watch it like 2 more times before the revival comes on because life. I don't like Jess in season 2, season 3, but when I see him grown up and see him apply himself, that's very good. But then I've read interviews where Jess is just up to the same old Jess, like being a jerk kind of. Like even the actor Milo, I forget his last name, said it. So then I'm like, ugh, Jess, I just don't know about you. You got a lot to come around. So I don't know. A book that I love that gets the most hate is definitely going to be Twilight. Twilight is, I think, very like controversial in the book community because a lot of people love Twilight. I love Twilight. I have said that time and time again. I read it when I was 17. It's a whole special place in my heart. But if I read it again now, would I love it as much? Honestly, probably not. But you can't take back those teenage years and those crushes and Edward Cullen. I mean, I won't replace that ever. But it just gets a lot of hate. And I will say I do not like the 4th book at all. Breaking Dawn, hate it. But I still like the series a lot, but it gets a lot of hate. So Miss Patty.
No, darling, let me show you how it's done. Again?
A book that was ruined by the hype. I didn't have an answer for this question. I will say I usually read hyped books. Like a lot of times when new books come out, a lot of booktube stuff is blowing up and talking about them, and I get involved in it, and there hasn't been a book yet that I felt like really was not worthy of it. I wouldn't say not worthy of it, but really, really disappointed. There are some books that get a lot of hype that I'm like, they were okay books, they weren't amazing, but there hasn't been a book yet that has been completely like really horrible for me because of the hype. So I didn't have an answer for this one. I hope that's okay. Emily Gilmore.
Stupid naked angels with their butts and...
Whoa, stupid naked angel butts?
An expensive book. That's hilarious for Emily because I don't know. I don't know. There's so many expensive books. I think I'm going to go with this one, The Sorcerer's Stone. Let's look at the price tag on this. Ooh, do I dare? Yeah, this is $40. That's a lot for me. I think any of like the cool special edition Harry Potter books are like $40, $50, which I mean, that's like a bill for me, okay? Like that car insurance, you know you're an adult when you're like, do I want to buy a new fancy book this month or do I rather pay my car insurance? Choices. Adult life. It's not fun. Paris Geller.
Which means she's either lazy or stupid. I can work with either. Frankly, sometimes stupid is easier. I can scare the stupid out of you, but the lazy runs deep.
An all-time favorite of mine, honestly. An uptight character. That's Paris, but you see her loosen up very, very much so in the later seasons. So if you hate Paris, if you're just watching Gilmore Girls for the first time and you're like, Paris is horrible, why doesn't anyone like her? Keep watching. She gets better, she gets funnier, it's amazing. For this one, I picked a not so uptight character. She's kind of uptight, but then she loosens much like Paris does herself. It's going to be Emily from Since You've Been Gone. Emily is not anywhere like uptight, like I won't do things. She's just really more reserved. She doesn't want to take adventures. She's very much in like a bubble and a box, but she opens up in this book and you learn more things about her. She has more adventures and stuff, so she definitely becomes less and less uptight, I would say. So I wouldn't say 100% she's uptight, more rather she's kind of just in her own world and doesn't really want to escape that world, if that makes sense. And these are good. We have 2 bonus questions or characters, and the first one is Richard Gilmore, which
I'm getting the champagne.
I just died, unfortunately, and that's very, very sad, and I'm not looking forward to not seeing him there in the revival. But a character death that you will never get over. I'm not going to say who died in this book, because I will be spoiling it for you, but I will say that this character's death still affects me. It really does, and I don't know, that's just how it is. So I will not, so if I love this book and you're mad that I'm spoiling this for you, I'm not saying a single person. I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to show up the book and tell you. Somebody in this book's death affected me a lot. Somebody. His or hers? Older, younger? You don't know. Somebody's death in this book really affected me and still affects me. And the last character is Logan Huntsberger.
People can live 100 years without really living for a minute. You climb up here with me, it's one less minute you haven't lived.
I love Logan. I think he had great development. He was very much so a jerk in the beginning, and he definitely developed, and he definitely grew up, and I love him, and I really hope to see, well, I know he's going to be back, but if him and Rory would get together, I would not hate that by any means, but I like Logan. He gets a lot of hate. He really does, but I'm a Logan girl. A character who has gone through the most development. Perfect question. I go with so many different options for this question because in a lot of YA novels, especially series nonetheless, a lot of people go through development. I picked in literally any character from the Mortal Instrument series will do. Any character has gone through a ton of development. Simon, definitely. Isabel, definitely. Alec, definitely. Thaddeus, definitely. Clary, definitely. Jace, definitely. Anybody from this series has gone through a ton of development. So pick your player for this one because they all developed greatly. That was the Gilmore Girls book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you like these type of tags, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more Gilmore Girlish type of videos and bookish videos as well, obviously. But who loves the Gilmore Girls here? I know a lot of us do. And who's excited for the revival? I am. I can't wait. Can't wait to see Lorelai Gilmore and sing the theme song.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. All you have to do is come.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Take